place with the worst lighting ever. God damn it. All right. So I'll explain like the whole situation if you want, and then after that, if you just like ask.
Let me just explain it from my and Batal's point of view, right?
Yeah, no problem.
Because we have reason and suspicion to like believe that it was you, right? Because when we saw that it wasn't there, we counted heads at the block, and you and Dean was there, right? And then when I asked you where you was, you told me that you were cruising. And then when I asked you again later on down the line, you said that you were in your apartment. And then after that, Patal tried to call Dean, or you, sorry, and couldn't. And I tried to call Dean, right?
Hello?
And I couldn't. And then when you guys got off the phone, Patal tried to call you again, and it could ring. And then I tried to call Dean, and it could ring. So we had assumptions, right, that you guys were talking to each other over the phone and avoiding contact like on the radio and in person because you guys know that you've done some shit, right? Now I understand, you know, Dean being Dean and doing whatever the fuck Dean does, right? But from perspective of someone like you, after the conversations we've had and someone that's trying to own their chain, I don't understand that, especially when I asked you on the radio and like you denied it. And I have like the whole suspicion to believe that you were somewhat involved.
All right. Do you mind if I talk?
Yeah, of course.
I was involved. Okay. Your suspicions were correct. I was involved. I'll go from the start and kind of explain certain things and answer some of your questions while explaining the story. When the guns started popping off and the guy got shot outside, there was a lot of shit on the radio. I was up on my balcony. I don't know if you can see, you know what? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I was up on the balcony and I was overhearing the whole shit. And the argument started coming up about the ocean dumping and shit, right? And obviously I could hear Dean was like really upset because he was like, this guy deserves to get ocean dumped. And you guys, like everybody was like, no, we'll just leave him. He came to the block, he gave the chain back, but in a different way. I called Dean and I told him that I agreed with like, you know, like this guy needed a bit more of a punishment. But that was like all I wanted to do, just kind of get on his side a little bit because of what we did in that day. He then said to me, he was like, right, don't get your car now. So I got my car and then he was like, do me a favor and go to the mural side of the block. We went round to the mural side and Dean was there. You good? All right.
Yo, hello?
Dean was there and he was like, all right, stop the car. So I did. And the guy was on the ground and then he was just like, right, open up the trunk. He put the guy in the trunk of the car and he was like, right, just go for a drive. At this point, obviously, you didn't say anything on radio. Nobody was saying anything on radio. And he advised me, he's like, yo, we need to keep this between us two. So I was like, right, okay. We drove to a spot near the beach. I stopped the car. He got out. He took the guy out. He took a picture and then walked the person into the water while I sat in the car, right? At this time, when he came back and we started driving off, that's when you started talking on the radio about like, yo, where the fuck are you? Like, where's Tommy? You know, et cetera, et cetera. Now, when you asked me, this is what I wanted to ask you a question or answer a question. When you asked me, Tommy, did you have anything to do with it? Dean was right next to me. The last thing, no disrespect, the last thing I wanted to do was call it out on the radio that yes, I was a part of it when Dean was right next to me and told me to keep it between us. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't want to kind of call it out on the radio and say, yeah, it was us who did it. And then Dean being like, you're a fucking idiot. You're a snake or whatever. Like, why did you run your fucking mouth? So obviously I was like, yeah, no, I didn't. Because I know it's going to sound bad, but you asked me, did I ocean dump that guy? No, I didn't. I drove, but I didn't ocean dump. So I know it's a little sneaky, but when you asked, did I ocean dump him? I said no, because I didn't ocean dump him, but I did drive. I was trying to find the best way to get out of the situation. At that point, Dean said we started driving back into the city. This is you were still answering questions and stuff like that. And then you asked me what I was doing, and I said I was cruising around because that's what I was doing. I was cruising around the block at that time when you asked that question. At that point, I dropped Dean off, actually just up there, like literally just up the stairs here, but on the road. So it wasn't like we pulled up together outside the block because obviously you had them suspicions. And then at that point, I started driving away, and I went for a little drive myself. And then the radio started going like real mad crazy. But I felt like this was the point where you were going down to Viceroy to see if the guy was there. And then I was taking a scheduled nap. Let's just say that. It's not that I was trying to get out of the situation. I kind of had to get out of the city. But just before is when you said the guy's got his lungs filled with water. And then, like, just as that comment was coming out, I was flying out. You know what I'm saying?
So during
I shouldn't have gone behind your back, but the problem is when you called it out on the radio. The best thing I should have done is called you personally.
That's what I was saying. Like, when I gave you an opportunity, I said, Cruiser, tell me the fucking truth. Like, did you do it? Type shit.
He was the thing was he was right next to me.
So you could have pulled over, stopped the car, walked away, called me or some shit. At the end of the day, you still made that decision to drive. Like, you may have not been the one to ocean dump him, but you still drove him to do it, which is that's just as bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way it should have been was like, no, Batar and Adam said, no, I'm not gonna get involved in this. That was your choice. You chose to drive Dean there. That's on you. That's guilty by association.
You're right. And the thing is that I've said no to Dean before, and I've noticed that he was a little off with me. I didn't want to say no to somebody who's got to change. You know what I'm saying?
That's Dean, right? You got to learn that he's an enforcer, but an enforcer doesn't actually have a command role. Like, he has no power in what he says. Like, he might be off of you for a day or two, right? But at the end of the day, you went behind mine and Patar's back, and you went against our orders. And it's like, it's a tough situation for you because you're MDMA and you're trying to earn the chain.
Yeah.
I understand why you did it though, right? Yeah, Dean in your ear. You didn't want to, I understand why Dean ocean dumped him as well, right? But at the same time, the guy had enough respect to come and give the chain back instead of going to sleep with it, right? And if they're showing that level of respect, at least we have the decency to show the same respect back, right? Mm-hmm. Because if we ocean dump them and then it does end up like a war like it is now, they're just gonna ocean dump us, take our shit, and they won't be polite with it. If we act like rats, they'll act like rats.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Same thing with the cops,
The thing is, right, if Dean is the one that's constantly fucking up, then that's on Dean. That will eventually come out, right? And then it's only on Dean.
I got you.
Not gonna lie to you, Cruiser. Now, like, this kind of puts us in a position where it's like, will he even listen, or will he? Because you heard on the radio, me and Adam both saying no to Dean, but you still chose to help out Dean instead of
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I get that. He's telling me to get the car. You know what I'm saying? Like, and with the conversations that I've had with him before, when I've said no to him. And he's, like, he doesn't then want to talk to me at all. And, shit's getting weird. Mm-hmm. He's asking me to do something. I went there and did it. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to be, have that same shit as before, where it starts getting weird between us two because I said no to him. You know what I'm saying?
See, what doesn't make sense to me though, Cruiser, is that you and Dean were on the phone together, right?
No, we weren't. We was on the. We literally stayed in the car the whole time.
So you weren't on the like after the fact when I called you out, you were on the phone with Dean.
No, we weren't. We was in the car together, but we weren't on the phone with each other at all.
Not at all.
No, honestly, not at
So
all.
who was you on the phone to? Then?
Nobody.
Bro,
I drove when we
me
drove back.
and Patar tried to call you, you were on the phone.
When like how long after when you
I
called
don't
me
know,
out
but
on
you
this?
were on the phone to Dean, bro. As
I
soon
wasn't
as
on
the
the phone
call,
to
we
Dean.
listen, Cruiser. The way we know you were on the phone to Dean at one point, I don't know if you remember, but me and Patar both spam called you guys. We both were disconnected, and as soon as that stopped, we both dialed. So it had to have been you two on the phone.
The only time that I could think, no, in fact, the only
And
time
then,
we were on the
then that's when I called you out on the radio.
The only time, in fact, you know what? The only time that we're on the phone is when I called him when the body was still on the floor outside the apartments, outside the block. That's the only time we had a call. I can't remember the last time, a time after that, that we actually had a call with each other because we were right next to each other. And there would have been no reason to call each other because they would have been called out on radio anyway. And we responded, which means we didn't turn the radio down. You know what I mean? We could have just turned the radio off. Like we weren't responding with that. You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't do that. Like I responded to you immediately. As soon as you said my name, I called it out straight away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I understand why you did what you did. You know, you had to go. You couldn't exactly pull me to the side. I don't. One of them situations there where you just gotta call me and say some shit, bro. Because I gave you an opportunity on the radio. I was like, bro, just tell me the fucking truth. So it's tough because you literally went behind what me and Batar told you to do, and we can't just let you slide with that, bro. Like, we can't just be like, all right, here's a slap on the wrist.
I know.
We gotta set like some kind of example. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
To us and everyone else, it's like, for a better lack of words, it kind of was snaky, you know. And
Yeah.
I'd hate to say that to you. And I was, to be honest, for the most part, I was defending you because I'm like, nah, Cruiser wouldn't, you know, go against second and third command. He really wants the chain, this and that. And, you know, he wouldn't do that. But then once the story is kind of, you know, we started piecing the puzzles, I you know, I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of disappointed, you know, because I had your back throughout the whole thing, you know?
Yeah.
I got you.
I had your back too, bro. And I came to you for advice, and you literally told me about your second in command, this, that. People should listen. And then it turns out you didn't even listen to yourself. So it's like, how does that, you know?
I mean, I understand, like I told you though, you know what I'm saying? Like with the conversation with Dean before, you know what I mean? He's got a chain, I don't, he's an enforcer, I'm not. You know what I'm saying?
Like, but that's
again,
still,
that was
it don't matter
one
if
of
he's
the
got a
times.
chain, it don't matter if he's an enforcer. It matters what me and Patar say. And you went against that. Whether it's Dean in your ear telling you not, like if Dean does that again, you say no. Like just say Adam and Patar said not to, I'm not doing that. Simple as that, that's that. You're guilty by association because you drove him to do it.
All right, I got you.
And for that, we're gonna have to do something about it. And I appreciate you wanting to come talk to us and tell the truth, because me and Batar were gonna come to you and we were gonna give you a choice. We were gonna give you a choice to own up about it, right? And you know, punish you accordingly. Or if you would have continued to say you didn't, you would have probably took the best.
Yeah, because
I'm
to
not
us,
gonna lie.
you coming clean with it shows more respect than, you know, like we want people to come clean with shit to us. We don't want people hiding shit from us, because at the end of the day, we are family, and this is a family, and like,
Yeah.
to us it came up
of course.
across as you guys were lying to us, this and that. I mean, we'll have to talk to Dean later too. But yeah, like, you know, we don't want the family to be filled with lies or snaking each other or this and that. Not
got
saying
you.
you're a snake, but like, for a better lack of words, you know, it kind of, in our eyes, you know,
Yeah.
that's
course.
like, yeah,
Disloyal.
yeah.
Yeah.
So MG's awake.
Alright, say less. Alright. With that being said, MG are awake, so we can end this here. So I appreciate you coming, tell the truth. You got a war to deal with, but me and Patar will talk about a punishment for you, and then
Alright.
we'll get back to you, okay?
All right, I got you, boss. 100%.
But yeah, Don't do that shit again, or it will be the vest next time, bro.
I got
This
you.
is your slap on the wrist.
Yo,
So
100%. Damn sure.
alright,
I got you. Listen,
What the
can I
fuck's
ask
the
you a
water?
question?
So, Dean, you on radio?
go for it.
If anybody with a chain asked me to do something that I don't feel comfortable with, or it's something that y'all don't feel comfortable with, and then I tell them no, and then come and talk to y'all after, that's gonna be cool, right? Like,
If
Yeah, of
me
course.
and
I just
yeah.
I don't want no blowback from the person that I said no to if I come to you and you
No,
say,
that's
well,
on
you
them.
gotta listen to
That's
us.
on them.
For example,
That's on them, not you.
Say Sergio's here, right? You have him at
Yeah.
gunpoint.
Yeah.
Me and Adam tell you not to shoot him, but Ved
Yeah.
tells you to shoot him. Ved's got a chain. Doesn't matter. If Adam and I said not to shoot him and you shoot him, that's a different
Yeah.
story. But if you don't shoot him and then Ved gets hot-headed and then shoots him, that's on Ved. That's not on you.
I'm in a situation that y'all both are not there. That's all. Sorry. I mean, like, if y'all are not in that situation, like you're not there at all, and somebody's telling
Oh,
you
this
to
is like
do something.
both of us asleep and Dean wants to do something.
Yeah. Like,
This-
I'm assuming you're gonna be cool if I say no to him and then talk to y'all after, even though he may be
mean-
pissed about it.
You can do that, or like if we're not there and he says to do something, then at the end of the day, you're just following that chain, right? And that's on you. But if you don't feel comfortable with it, you don't have to. You can come talk to us after.
Yeah.
All right. I
But
got
yeah,
you, boss.
if MG are awake, we got water. We got to deal with that.
Well, I just want to say, man, I'm sorry, man. Both of y'all, I should have followed, the hierarchy, something that I've defended for y'all both and explained with you both. And, I'm completely in the fucking wrong. And I appreciate you, allowing me to keep the vest and keep that dream going. And I'll be damn sure not to do it again.
I mean, you're still gonna be punishment, man.
I know.
We're probably gonna take you
I know.
away from a few jobs. We're probably gonna make you grind some shit. We're probably gonna take some money away from you.
That's
But I'll
no
discuss
fucking
that
problem.
with Batar a different time. So,
No problem, baby.
alright, just don't do that shit again, bro.
I won't. I got you. Never again.
Alright, go back to the block. Do this, bro.
Yo.